All right, so finally, this is the only viable propellant, the only long-term solution that will, I think, stand the test of time. I've looked at so many other models. As marketers, this is the best thing we've come up with. Um, Surprisingly, it's been around forever, but this has stood the test of time. It will stand the test of time. All the metrics show that it will. Um, it's built on the premise that attention, or it's harder, it's more costly now to get the attention of someone who doesn't want to hear us. And it's virtually free to get someone who wants to hear us to hear us. Like it's virtually free for me to send an email, but to get someone who doesn't want to hear me to listen to me now, it's even more costly. Like there's not just one television that I have a captive audience and I can just send my advertisements to. No, not anymore. There's ad block, there's all this sorts of stuff and all these hoops I have to jump just to get someone who doesn't want to hear me to listen to me. But if they want to hear me, it's virtually free, and this is why this asset exists. Um, Other marketers have done it not as purely. They have leveraged assets that are similar to the permission asset, and still that was viable. So email marketing is something that is very close to a permission asset, and it has one of the highest ROIs in terms of advertising. It averages about 35 times to every dollar spent. So if you spend $1 into email marketing, it generates on average $35, which is crazy. And not enough people do email marketing in itself. So I've always wondered why people never do it. But I think it comes down to because it's hard to be personalized and it's hard to really scale unless you understand marketing. And I think a lot of people are avoiding marketing because of it feels confusing. And so that's one of the reasons why I want to clear a lot of it up. But a permission asset is based on this framework, this concept that has existed forever. It's always been easy to get in touch with people, but it's getting cheaper and cheaper. This gets more expensive and more expensive. So what is a permission asset? Well, it is the privilege a group of people give you to contact them. It's the permission. It's me saying, hey, yes, I would love to hear more. Please contact me when you have more information about it, right? It is you making a promise. Hey, if I can contact you, I will give you this kind of information. And building trust so that you earn my attention. It's not like, it's not having like a website. Let's say there's this website. If you sign up, you can like play a game. So I sign up and suddenly I start getting emails about it. Sure, maybe I signed up and there was like a legal text. There's a small text that said, hey, you, by signing up, gave permission for me to contact you. That's not what I mean. I had to have wanted it. In that context, sure, I gave permission, but really I didn't want to hear from you. You never earned my attention. So there's some properties of a permission asset. So it is owned, not rented. A good example of this is like YouTube subscribers. YouTube means it's rented. If I'm paying for an audience, if I'm paying a magazine subscription to talk to a group of people, that is rented. Permission asset must be owned. The problem is if it's rented, what the platform can do is they can charge you more, or they can make you pay so that other competitors don't show up with you. And if that's the case, then it's not truly yours to own. And you don't own this asset. It's not an asset you own that you can leverage. It's someone else's asset that you're leveraging. It's non-transferable. So the permission that people give you to contact them, let's say some competitor came and stole that list. Like let's say you made an email of it. Like let's say you stored the people in an email list and your competitor came, they stole that list and they started messaging the people. They never earned the permission. It's non-transferable. A permission asset is a true competitive advantage. All right, we just covered give, promise, and earn attention. But with a permission asset, you make a promise and people voluntarily sign up for it. They say, hey, that promise is something I'm interested in. Please sign me up. I will give you my attention in return. And the big difference with other propellants is that when you stop the other propellants, the flow stops. But in a permission asset, when you stop, they genuinely miss you. They ask how you're doing, they ask what's wrong. There is a relationship there. There's something there that we built. How valuable is a permission asset? Well, we could look at Spotify and Joe Rogan. Spotify, I think a few years ago now, they made a deal with Joe Rogan for an unprecedented $250 million for Joe Rogan to exclusively publish a certain number of episodes on the Spotify platform. And people were going crazy. It's like, why would a podcaster, what value does he have that someone could pay him $250 million in one deal? What they didn't realize is Joe Rogan had an audience of approximately 10 million people. And these weren't a captive audience. They weren't people who were, like he wasn't advertising to 10 million people. These were 10 million people who were choosing to tune in. And when Joe Rogan would not make an episode, they would wonder where he is and like ask, hey, when's the next episode coming out? So this was Joe Rogan's permission asset. And yes, Spotify wasn't able to own it. They can't compete for it. They can't take it. They know that. So what they can do is they can leverage it, and they're leveraging it by giving him $250 million. What they're essentially doing is spending about $25 per person, per captive person who is actively listening to Joe Rogan. They're spending $25 to be able to market to that person for several years. That is very worthwhile, and now that makes complete sense. So that is the power of a permission asset. It is probably one of the most important assets your business can own, probably more valuable than any of the equipment or machinery that you own. If someone came and started destroying your machinery, like if a staff member did that, you would probably fire them. But I see a lot of cases where people just easily send out spam to their email list and start degrading any of the attention and trust that they had already. It's really weird. Like, we need to start appreciating permission assets for what they really can be, which is, like, think of how much people pay for ads. We can generate that, just give it a little time, and you can have an asset, which is basically free advertising for you for the lifetime of your business. That's what we're trying to create. And we'll look at how to create that in the next module.